Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Curry, Daniel here, two dudes talking. We're talking network marketing. And today, episode five, numero cinco. Oh my
Already,
gosh.
already five.
Yeah, we're halfway to 10. It's crazy. Um, we're talking about two really cool things. And by the way, if you guys watching at home, if there's a topic, a thing, a something, a whatever you guys want us to talk about, or, a topic you guys want us to bring up, drop it in the comments down below. Let us know. Oh, by the way, since you're here, if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you get notified first anytime we talk, which is, once a week at least. We're two dudes and we talk.
Talk.
So
So,
we're talking about two things that very, very important in the industry. One is the dreaded pyramid scheme. Oh my gosh. Is this one of those things? Or we're also going to talk about taprooting, which is basically drilling into your downline, building a downline. We're going to talk about some cool things. Now,
those are good topics. Those are really
oh
good
my
topics.
gosh, we could probably spend an hour or 9 hours on each of those, but we'll try to make it 60 minutes. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll just talk and whatever we do. Now, Curry, when you hear the word pyramid scheme, and I had hinted at this at the end of the last video. Um, when you hear the words pyramid scheme, or people bring up the word pyramid scheme to you, what's the first initial reaction that you have?
Every time I hear it, I shut down. I literally shut down and I, uh, I just run. I run, really. That's my first initial
Curl up
reaction.
into the fetal position.
That's it. Yeah. Every time I just get kind of shy about it. And I figure that the person who's talking to me knows a lot more than I do.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
So I figure that because they use big words that I don't have any way to respond. I got to tell you, I had never heard the word pyramid scheme before. To be
Hmm.
honest, I didn't grow up in a household where my family had been part of, any of these things, and I had never been introduced to network marketing until I was introduced to network marketing. Even when my previous spouse wanted to buy an Avon kit, Pampered Chef kit,
Yep.
all these kits that you could buy. We bought a Tupperware kit,
Yeah.
and you bought these kits because you could get this big package of product. And I didn't even know she was signing up to be an affiliate or be a distributor. I just thought she was wanting me to spend money to buy a box of stuff.
Yep.
I didn't know about network marketing. So my when I started hearing the term pyramid scheme, I started paying attention to the fact that other people had been introduced to very past experiences with companies that may have done things inappropriately.
Yep.
Well, then I had to develop a level of intelligence to the subject matter, learn about what a pyramid scheme actually is, and it made me think back to when I was working at a computer store when I was a kid, and there was a time the owner got involved with this weird uh, you sent off $20, and then there was like this, everybody would send you five people would send you 20 more dollars, and every time you kept getting onto a different list, and you'd keep getting all this money from all this, this one-time deal, and it just kept bringing me back to, only certain people make money.
Hmm.
Well, this industry's changed a lot. Rules have been put in place, laws are in place, and you don't find a lot of schemes in this industry at this moment. I'm not saying they don't exist. I'm saying almost all of us have legitimate products. Almost
Hmm.
all of us have legitimate services. Almost all of us are paying out on a comp plan. Almost every single compensation plan that I'm aware of, a downline can make more than an upline. I got uplines making four times the amount of money. Downlines making people making four times the amount of money as I do because they're just killing it in a way that I don't know how to build.
Hmm.
And so now when I hear it, to be honest, I never hear it now, but
Yeah.
but I do know that typically people hear it now because of the way you present your offer.
Yeah, that's fair.
That is what it for if you I never hear scam, I never hear scheme, I never hear goofy other words, but it's because I'm the confidence that we've learned to grow into. We don't talk the same way. We don't present the same way.
Yeah.
So I'll throw it back to you. I just it's an interesting word.
Yeah, and I think the best thing that we could do for the people that are watching is kind of help kind of smash down that fear that a lot of people have that if someone goes to them, if they're trying to promote their business, because the whole point of two dudes talking here is to give people the insight, the education, the belief levels, and all of those things. And I think that if someone's trying to promote their business and they hear the word, or someone throws pyramid scheme at them, it's like they get scared or afraid, or oh gosh, like am I trying to promote one of those things? And the reality is 99.9% of the people that are in your inbox, in your comments, wherever it is that are dropping the words pyramid scheme on you, those people have no freaking clue what it actually is. They just
That's
say
right.
it because it sounds cool. And they think they're going to tear you down and be like, oh gosh,
I
they're
got
right.
him. I got him.
Oh my God, I'm busted. Put the handcuffs on. I'm done. Um, yeah, 99.9% of the people have no idea what it is. They say it just because it sounds cool and trendy. And it's, like my best response, which I had said in episode 4, my best response is if someone says, this sounds like one of those schemes, or is this a pyramid scheme, or this is a pyramid scheme, or whatever it is. I love to, now take it from me, but maybe don't take it from me, because when people come at me, I'm, I can get a little feisty, mainly because I know what I'm talking about, but also
Yep.
because I think when someone for me tries to tear me down so they can feel better about themselves, I kind of like to give it back a little bit. Even though I know sometimes the best response is to just delete and move on. Um, when someone does use that term, I like to say, ask them a simple question. I like to literally reverse it back on them. And I say, pyramid scheme meaning question mark. And I like to see what they say, because most people don't respond. Most people will be like, oh, and there's one of those things. Well, one of what things? Sorry, what are you talking about? What did you mean pyramid scheme? And I like to sometimes I just like to say, like, what is your actual thought process here? Or do you even have one? You're just trying to throw a stone. Like, can we figure that out? But again, I know that's me, and I'm not saying for you, but I'm just saying for me, I like to kind of give it back a little.
It's not just giving it back, it's holding people responsible. Like
True,
you
true.
can't, and this is the way that I teach the same way. Like
Yep.
you and I are of like mind. I teach the exact same way. Somebody asked me literally in the last couple of days, what do you say when? And I'm like, well, number one, hold them responsible to the words that they're saying. Because
Yeah.
if they're going to be accusatory to you saying or offering them something, and they're going to tell you what they think it is, make them tell you why they think that it is. That way,
Hmm.
they can either learn something or shut up and move on. Like
Yeah.
it's like we're not trying to be, I don't think any of us in any company are attempting to hurt people. I don't think that we're attempting to take advantage of people today. I think most of us have something that we believe is really good, not only for ourselves, but we might have something that helps someone else along the way.
Hmm.
And when you're offering that and somebody accuses you of being part of something devious, ask them to explain it. Tell them, like, look, hey, you know what? I've really enjoyed this over the last however long. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Can you tell me why you're saying that? Maybe you know something I don't know.
Yeah. I think it's also fair to say too that the average in the law of averages, I would say, and I don't even know what percentage I would use here, but most opportunities that people find out there online today, most of them will not be an actual legitimate pyramid scheme. All of the
Nope.
businesses I know that you've been part of, I've been part of, offer real, actual products, solid compensation plan. And when you look at the term and the definition of a pyramid scheme, it's basically a recruiting scheme where big money is promised and there's no actual product or benefit to the end user other than making money. And anyone that actually gets scammed by that or falls into that trap, the percentage of those people is very, 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 very small and very minute. And those businesses that actually are just recruiting machines or recruiting opportunities are so far and few between that I don't even think people could go find those if they wanted to. It's all just, it's kind of this, in my opinion, here, it's like this mythological creature that it's like chasing after Bigfoot. You know what I mean? It's like
Let me, if we're going to be real transparent on this, two dudes talking, I've been scammed. I
yeah.
personally have fallen for one where the owners went to prison, like real prison. And I still talk about this today. There's some little group, and I literally saw this as this makes a lot of sense. This is a financially sound idea. And it was one of these uh, little systems where you take $200 and after five or six more people come into the system, it pushes like $800 to you. Like
Mm.
it just keeps pushing money forward, and then you reinvest your money on the backside. And when four or five more people join, it pushes money back to you. And I thought, I don't see where the loss is. I'm just going to keep playing this game.
Yep.
And sure enough, I lost all the money I invested, all the money I kept reinvesting, and those people went to prison. Like
Yep.
real, like I get FBI emails to this day about these two people that went
Yep.
to prison. So I'm glad I had nothing to do with that, really.
Yeah.
I didn't, but I definitely tried it. I thought this sounds right. I'm gonna try this.
Yeah. My first big business, not I wouldn't say big business, but my first um marketing deal back in 2016 that I got involved with. Um, I invested personally, I think it was like $38,000. I had to take out a business loan in order, and this was all by the recommendation of the company, and this was all by the recommendation of the coaches that work for the company. Invested heavily into traffic and advertising and all those things. Never recouped any of the money that I invested in, and about a year later, they were shut down by the FTC. So, those things they do happen. They do
Hey,
happen. But I think there's so many available, good, solid opportunities that are right there out in the forefront that you don't have to fall too far down that rabbit hole to end up getting sucked into one of those things. And but again, circling back to, the topic at hand here is, when you hear the term pyramid scheme, with your legitimate business that you have that offers products, digital products, services, physical products, services, whatever it is, don't be scared of it. It's it's a term that gets thrown out there far too often. And again, you got to remember where it's coming from. It's coming from a place of fear. And when people fear things, they lash out. We've seen this on social media, right, Curry? When people fear things, they lash out, right? And it's when they do that, it's you don't have to fall into that fear. You don't have to fall into that trap because you know the difference and you know that what you have is legit, it's real, and it's nothing even close to a pyramid scheme. So don't let that bother you. Don't let that fear seep in and be like, "Oh gosh, is what I'm doing okay?" Like I'm sure it is. Okay? And just remember, you can ask the question in reverse. Pyramid scheme meaning what? Or you could take the Curry approach and say, "Oh, you know, is there something that you know that I don't, or tell me what your thoughts are. Tell me what you think this actually is, I think.
I think that it's that recruiting feeling as well for people that they think that you're offering them a way to make money. And for some reason, and I don't know where this came from. I don't know what company in the history of any of this. There's for some reason within seconds, people believe that what we're trying to offer is a get rich quick thing.
Hmm.
And so when you're offering somebody a way to make some extra money, it's hard to express to them from the second they hear that this is not easy. Like it's not going to be something that's going to put a lot of money in your pocket on the front,
Hmm.
but over time, we're going to show you how you can make X amount of dollars based on your level of effort and the effort of your team. And it's like I just gave a disclaimer right there. It's like you don't like give them the disclaimer up front. You just tell them, hey, we found a way to make some extra money sharing something we're excited about.
Yep.
And if you want to do it, you can do it too. And then they go, well, this sounds like a pyramid scheme. And it's like, why? And then we're back to
Yeah.
explain what are you getting that I don't get?
I think it's, when you think of the term pyramid, first off, like that to me is, and I know there's so many like memes and drawings and photos out there all over social media where it just talks about like, oh, it's a pyramid. It's like everything in the freaking world is a pyramid. The Catholic Church, your job, like everything is a pyramid. So why would that even scare anybody? Because when you start at your job, you're on ground, you're on the, you're in base camp, you're on the ground floor. And then if you need to move up to a supervisor and then a manager and then a senior manager and then maybe a VP and a senior VP, like you climb your way to the top of the pyramid. So,
But they don't see it, man. I agree. There's a lot of stuff that we've learned in this time that most people,
yeah.
because they don't even see their school at their base education as a pyramid with one principal, some vice principals,
Hmm.
some supervisors, some teachers,
Yep.
all the way down
Teachers'
to the
aides.
students.
Yep.
Yeah, all the way down to the students, and they do not see it. They don't get it. They weren't
Yeah.
taught. And it's one of the things I learned mostly from the military is that we had a chain of command.
Yep.
And that chain of command went all, you had
Military,
to go
also a
through.
pyramid.
Yeah, also, but you had to learn how to climb those ranks and climb to the different levels. And so I don't, there's a lot of things that, write down for one of our topics, knowing your why.
Oh,
Dude, that topic alone is life changing when you understand it. But most people, even when you tell them to describe their why or talk about their why, you don't get it. You don't know it. You don't understand what a why even is. And I think that in these circumstances, understanding that everything is a pyramid, nobody sees it. They don't see it that way. They
hmm.
they don't they don't get it yet. And so it has to be really broken down. It's like how many employers are there at your company? Employees, how many employees? And then how many people are managers? Well, that's already a step up. And then how many people? And it's like once you really try to break it down and let them understand it, every single thing, you're right, everything has a hierarchy.
Yeah.
And that's the way it should be.
Even
It sh
families. It's
Ugh.
Yeah, it's one of those things that like it's I don't know. In my opinion, it's a cliche, overused phrase that most people are unaware of what it actually is. So, don't fear it. Be comfortable where you are, be comfortable what you're doing. And, also look at the best thing, I tell my team this all the time, like if there's evidence of somebody else doing the thing and making the money, then you have proof that you can do this too. You have other people in the same sphere, Facebook group, company, whatever it is. If there's other people that are doing it, you can do it too. Okay. So, you have the proof all around you, and use that. So,
But they're special, Dan. They're special.
oh, I know. I
Those
know.
people they have skills and they have talents and they have networks and they have that I don't have and I can't ever develop.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'll give you guys the lane speech that I've used before. It's like so now let's kind of shift gears. We'll start getting away from pyramid scheme. Let's start talking more about taprooting and talk about drilling down into your team and building a team. And one of the references that I give people a lot is we're all in a lane, right? We're all in a lane and we're all driving to the same destination. And let's just say our destination, uh, we got our we got our road map here, we got our destination. We're all going to Paradise Valley. We're all going to the land of residual income because it's beautiful there. It's an amazing place that we all want to go to. And then you're driving in your lane and you're doing your thing and you're working your business and you're over here and it's like, man, I'm doing this thing. I'm putting out content. I'm reaching out to people and I'm doing this thing. And you're not getting any sales. You're not growing. You're not building. You're just in your lane doing your thing. And you feel like you're just, you can't get off. You're just stuck, right? And then you got someone in the lane next to you and they're driving the same car and they're going to the same destination. You're both looking at the same map. You both got the same settings in your GPS. And it's like they're making sales and they're building their team. And you're like, wait, they're posting content and I'm posting content and they're making sales and I'm not like what is wrong? And that's the instinctually you say, like, what is wrong with me? What am I not doing? And the simplest explanation is that I always like to give is you need to look at what specifically they're doing that you're not doing and what you can model from them. And all you need to do is literally just model those behaviors, model those, whatever it is they're doing. Maybe they're going live and you're not going live. Maybe they're posting more on YouTube and you're not posting on YouTube. Maybe they're doing it in a way, maybe when you do your content, maybe you press record and you're like, hey, Daniel here. Just want to make a video and talk about. And then this person over here is like, hey, Daniel here. What's up? Glad to have you on this today. Today I'm going to be talking about this awesome thing that I'm super excited about. And you're both doing the thing, but maybe they're just doing it a little better. Maybe they're doing it more effectively. It's like same destination, two same people driving the same thing, heading to the same spot. One's doing it good and one's needs a little bit of work. So it's, you know,
What's that phrase like comparitis or something? What you can't see is the person who's moving faster was once where you are.
it's hard to
They
compare
were
your
there.
chapter 1 to someone's chapter 90.
That's right. They were once where you are, and they got modifications to their vehicle. They got mods, and they got better tires, and they got because they've been doing it. And like you said, watch what they're doing and
Hmm.
realize I've got to grow into that type of person. I got to develop in those skill sets to then be able to be running faster than another person who's going to watch me,
Yeah.
who's going to watch me get to this point, and they've got to learn to do what I did that I learned from these people back here. And it's just like this is never going to end. I'm going to
Yeah.
see stuff that Dan does and go, man, I wish I would have taken some of those talents and applied them to my business. And then everybody does this. It's the way that it works. But here's just like he's talking about a lot of people, and we're talking high percentages, get in that lane going slow and then just fall off the road,
Yep.
just quit. Because they don't ever realize that the persons and the people they see winning started back here. And we all start at zero. And there's nobody that enters this industry. I've never met a person who entered the industry and was instantaneously a millionaire.
Yep.
Nobody. You just have to take and start figuring out bits and pieces from other leaders, other mentors, other people, other systems. And it's like over time, you develop and grow. And dude, I'm excited about talking about taprooting because when you really get into taprooting, you understand that in that pyramid scheme, you're the
Hmm.
top of it. Yeah, now your pyramid is literally you are the leader. You're the top. There's
Yep.
nobody above you.
You are the top dog.
You are.
You said the word zero, and one of my favorite lines that I heard years ago is everyone starts at zero. It's up to you if you want to stay there. And when you really think about that, like you don't just like go from, like you said, you don't go from 0 to 100 in a day overnight or whatever it is. Like you have to build and grow and develop. And I think, in reference to the cars, like side by side, it's like, if these cars were books, right? And the books were heading to wherever it was, wherever books go. Um, you know, this person, yeah, you're reading the same book, right? But this person's on chapter 35 and you're on chapter 2, or you're on page 1 and they're already on chapter 35. So it's like, yeah, you're reading the same book. Yeah, you're in the same book club. Cool. But they're so much further along than you. So please give yourself the patience and the fortitude and the energy to keep going and learning and developing and growing, because you can get to chapter 35. Again, evidence. If somebody else is doing it, you can do it too. So,
And I think we as leaders, as people come in, we could all do a better job of managing expectations.
for sure.
I
Thousand
think a
percent.
lot, all of us. I came in and there was no management of expectations. It was just, hey, go do this thing.
Yeah.
Go, here's a resource, go do this thing. And it was no, well, this is going to suck a lot. And you need to understand you are going to be terrible at it for a while. And
Yeah.
you are going to have to break through. Dude, I had a bigger problem with overcoming my own pride. Like, I'm good at this. Why aren't all these people joining me? Because I'm so good at this.
Yep.
I was not good at this.
Yep.
I was not good. So yeah, I had a lot to learn, and I had to get rid of some ego and just learn to let some of that stuff go to get to the next chapter. To get to the
Hmm.
next chapter. I don't need this chapter one. I don't need this chapter one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did. Yeah, I did.
So when you think of the word taprooting, what what comes to mind, and how can someone, who's watching this, be like, I think I know what it means, but like when you think of taprooting and you think of organizations, compensation plans, teams, what does that mean to you?
Well, it's hard for me to talk about the way that you want me to, being that I know what it is, but the reality is it is coming to the conclusion that you don't know as much as you should yet.
Hmm.
And your job is to bring people that you know that are in your network to a leader so that that leader can answer all their questions and help those people get started until you become the person that you're bringing the people up to and you're answering all their questions. So in today's world, we do this. So let's back up. We used to do this with home parties, and we used to do this with hotel meetings, and we used to
Yep.
do this with, in-person events, so that you could build locally in your community.
Yep.
So you would bring your friends and family to a get together. Let a leader come in and give a presentation, answer all their questions, and then you would do this 2, 3, 4 times until you became the leader, and everybody's bringing their people to you. Now we do it with Zooms.
Yeah.
Now we do it with Teams meetings. Now we do it with, you know, what's what other little online things where a leader will host the meeting, and then everybody brings their people to that meeting, and then somebody can help them get started, and then everybody goes off and does it again. It's building through the build through. It's just constantly building through with those people
Yep.
until you find a leader, a runner.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And yeah, nowadays 100% Zooms, and one of the things that I've done over the years, and Curry, I'm sure you do the same exact thing too, where it's like I just had someone join a couple of weeks ago, and they have significant marketing experience. And, one of the first things that I always do is say, hey, who are if you wanted to build your front line, if you wanted to build a leadership level, who are the people that you are going to reach out to? And we'll get some names. I'll say, okay, let's try to get all of those people into a Zoom. Let's get you moving fast. Get all those people into a Zoom. And I said, I'll come in and I'll do the presenting for you. So you just hang out, you just shake hands, kiss babies, whatever. And I'll do the presenting, I'll do the speaking, and I'll do the rah rah stuff for you and whatever. And then those people will come in. And then when someone, not, like always, not every single person's going to join, but when they do, the people that do join, we go down to those people and say, hey, let's get you moving fast. How many people can you get in a Zoom on this day with me, this guy who you just joined, and these other people here? How many people can you get in there? And again, the process just kind of continues and expands. And I've found that that is some of the best and fastest ways to grow depth, not only depth, but that is some of the best ways to grow the people that hang around the longest, the people that are going to build the most, using those Zooms, using that style, using that method. Everybody can go out there and create content. Everybody can go out there and I've learned this over the years. Like I have some people on my team. I have some people that I've worked with over the years that are phenomenal recruiters. Phenomenal. We're talking hundreds, if not thousands, of people that they have personally sponsored over the years. Like they're so good at creating content. They're so good at just plugging people in. And then when you like, so their first level could be like 10,000 people wide, and then like their second level is like 1% of that. So it's like it's for me, it's kind of taprooting is like balancing that skill of, hey, I still got to go make some sales. I still got to go, make enough money to buy the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches to get some food while I'm still getting this thing going. But the real, the real growth comes from tapping into when you identify a leader, when you identify someone that's going to, a runner, like you say, you tap into them and then you're like, hey, who can you get to do what you're doing right now? Who can you get to be here in this thing on this day so we can talk to them? And then that process can cascade and go
You
as
know,
far down as possible.
you know who's really good at this? Rainbow vacuum cleaner salespeople. Rainbow
Like,
vacuum
what's
cleaner.
that other one? Kirby?
Kirby. Well,
Kirby. Yep.
let's not talk about Kirby. I got a sad place in my heart from a
Sure,
moment
sure.
in time. But Rainbow, I love that they come in. If once you have seen their presentation, they then tell you, even if you don't buy a vacuum for $2,300, they literally ask you to make a list of 10 people to get a free rainmaker, to get one
Yeah.
of these little rain air purifying things. And they literally are trying to taproot through your network of people
Mm-hmm.
just to get another presentation out of those 10 people because they know 1 in 10 will buy. They
Yeah.
have got it down to a science
They
that
know
if
the
you
numbers.
get they do. And the reality is it's the same for all of us. If
Yeah.
you are able to get your person, you can find one person, and maybe that's something that we don't promote very well now are promotions like giving away something to build somebody's list so you can taproot correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And Rainbow figured that out, and they literally will give you a free thing to they'll give away a little bit of money, a $50 item, a hundred dollar
It's called a
item,
lead magnet.
the lead magnet, and they will do it. And let me tell you, they rock it. They do. I bought a Rainbow vacuum cleaner, buddy. So and I'm still trying to get that lady who's not in the business anymore to be in my team because I watched her give a home presentation with a flip book. It was
Yep.
just a stupid flip book paper that was falling apart. She had flipped it a ton of times.
Yep.
And I was like, you're the best at this I ever seen. You are good at this.
Yeah. Yeah. The old reverse recruit. You got a salesperson who's really good at what they do. That's getting old school right there. But
It is. Dude,
but
we all, and a whole nother topic of conversation, recruiting up.
Oh my
Recruiting up,
gosh. My gosh.
dude. Your
You know what?
biggest,
Yeah,
you got to be
sorry.
bold.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, keep going.
So like I just had this conversation the other day where we were talking about specific income producing activities. And this, you could tie this to taprooting, of course, but you know, we're having this conversation on income producing activities, and direct messaging was one of them. And direct messaging just scares the crap out of people because it's like, oh my gosh, what if they say no? What if they yell at me? What if they tell me to F off? Like, get over yourself. Like, who cares? Like you've said 100 times, like you are not responsible for the outcome. You're just responsible for doing the thing. I was like how you explained it to you, like in the history of things. But you're getting people to go do the thing. And one of the things, as we were having this conversation, one of the things that I explained is every single top producer that I have ever worked with that has brought on 1,000 people or more, or the guy or gal that is responsible for bringing on 1,000 people or more, every single one of those people that worked with me or works with me came in because of a direct message.
Every one of them.
And I was able to taproot into their experience, their team, their downline, and bring that over to here because of, wait for it, I asked them a question in a direct message. Would you be open to this right here?
It doesn't work, Dan. It doesn't work.
I know, I know. So, back to like you can go out there and you can go recruit, you could sponsor people, you can make sales. Cool. You maybe you get really good at that. But at some point, not if, when at some point you need to learn and understand the skill set of drilling down. And that's Curry refers to it as taprooting. I've always, for me, it's been taught you drill down, same thing. But you work with your leaders, you reach out to your leaders, you taproot down into their brain and their, you know, sphere of people and influence, and the people that they know, and then the people that they know, and then the people that they know. That is how you build depth in your organization.
By the way, let's go back. You said something. I love the way that you said drill down, and I'm talking about tap rooting. And if we literally give the visualization, because it just popped in my head of actually drilling for oil, like you are setting up your oil well, your rig at the top of the ground, and it's going down and hitting pockets, small pockets of oil. And then
Mm-hmm.
as you keep drilling, you find bigger pockets and then possibly another bigger pocket. And as it keeps going, you don't stop when you find one pocket. You
Yep.
literally keeping finding more and more and more as you go down. And eventually, and this is where you have to look at every individual person you enroll as a new well, a whole new well. So did you just are
Yeah,
you
you keep
I
talking.
was
I'm
like,
gonna
what's just happened?
I'm gonna do
So
something here.
yeah, so as you're going down, every person you bring into your organization, you have to taproot through each person to find a runner or a pocket of growth in that leg. And so every person is a new leg of business. Oh, it's a you.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Oh my, is he drawing a pyramid? Oh
I
my
think so.
gosh.
It looks like it.
So you could go out and you could sponsor 3 people. And let's say, this one does something, this one does a couple of things. And then this one here, let's say they bring in 5 people. You could go directly to this person and say, hey, do you know, or can you get those 5 people into a Zoom? Can you get those 5 people into a Zoom meeting this Friday? Whatever. I'm just giving an example. Time
Yep.
frames, where you meet, how you meet, whatever it is all just food for thought here. And let's say you get those 5 people onto a Zoom, and then you tell them, hey, before you get to that Zoom, is there anyone that you could bring, anyone that you know of, any other leaders, influencers, people, friends, whatever, that you could bring with you to get to this Zoom meeting right here? And let's say these five people just collectively they all bring in another 10 people. So now you got you, this person right here, plus these other, whatever. Now you got 17 of you guys hanging out in a Zoom meeting and you do your presentation and whatever it is. And let's say that you say, hey guys, we're going to do this same exact thing tomorrow night. So how many of you guys could run out and maybe get three, four, five, whatever people here, and then quickly that 17, the next time you guys meet, that's 30, and then those 30, you say, hey, we're going to meet back here in 24 hours, blah 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 blah, and that 30, turns into 60, and then you just keep cascading, and taprooting down and going and building what I call drilling down. And now, I mean, Curry, I've seen you use this method probably 100,000+ over the years,
Yeah,
of
we did it
using
way.
the Zoom.
Yeah, we did it crazy. We actually took one company and we did five a day, five Zooms a day. And we would
Yep,
start at 6 p.m. and then build from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. and then 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. and then 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. And we did this every day for about, I think it was about 120 some days that we did this
yep,
straight in a row, that we didn't take any time off. And we built a team of over 8,000 people in like 3 months, 4 months, and we
yep,
were just screaming in this company. And all we were doing was taprooting. Okay,
yep,
listen, everybody who's ready to get started, if you can go find 4 or 5 people for this next meeting, we'll help you launch your business.
yep,
Okay, everybody who gets started in the next meeting, if you can go find 4 or 5 people, invite them to see this, we're going to help them get started in the next meeting. And we just kept going and
yep,
kept growing. And it was just, this is one of the greatest things you can do, is to build from a meeting to the next meeting to the next meeting to the
hmm
next meeting. And now you got, there's, I've discovered that uh it's there's a weird mentality of laziness that I find recently. And I'm like, y'all should be doing this every day of the week. Just because a leader has one Zoom a week doesn't mean you shouldn't be doing this on your own all week long. Like,
yep.
why are you not catching this? It's something that's it's a lost art, my friend. It's a lost art.
Well, you know what? And I think that when you're going through something like that, when a lot of most of the times people forget how they got in. And I
Oh,
and I think this could be a whole nother topic, but when you're out there doing the thing and you're bringing people in, I think sometimes people, especially those that have been in for 30, 60, 90, 120 days, whatever it is, and maybe they're getting a little stale because the teaching, the teaching of maybe the method that you're teaching inside isn't the method of how they got there. And I think I I like to remind people that, how did you get here? What
right.
led you to be here listening to us speak, whether it's in, Curry's group or my group or, any type of team thing that we're having. And you ask them, how did you get here? And, someone would chime in, oh, well, I saw a short form video and it got me excited. And then that short form video led me to this thing. Okay. And then I'll say to that person, okay, so if that's what worked for you, why aren't you making short form videos and getting people from a short form presentation to a long form presentation? Why are you doing Craigslist ads and go trying to do something completely different than how you got in? Because if this short form video got you excited, don't you think that would get other people excited too? It's
No, no. It
so
was
it's
just for
like,
that one person. That's the only one it worked for. It's the only one.
so, if someone invited you to a meeting and you sat in that meeting and you're like, I like this, I'm getting started, wouldn't you want to be like, hey, I like this thing over here. Maybe you should come check out this thing over here. Wouldn't you want to, whatever, you know, you can taproot however you want. You can drill down however you want. So, like in our example we just showed you guys, it was doing the Zoom thing. But, you know, if you, let's say you're just killing it with short form videos, do you think you could find other creators out there that can also get good at killing it with short form videos? Because again, if people, however they are consuming, maybe you want to go replicate that process versus,
I gotta be honest. I've recently discovered a builder in my neighborhood, in my community.
oh, yeah,
And this is something that has made me more excited in the last 10 years because I've built almost exclusively online.
yeah,
So
same.
I don't have that on I don't have that hometown community. And this person has put in, I mean, a whole bunch of local people. And I told him, I'm like, look, I'm ready to start having weekly meetings
Hmm.
locally, and let's grow through these counties and keep expanding locally. I
Yep.
said, this is something that's got me real excited. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I will show up. I will help with every presentation. I'll answer everybody's questions. And I'm the proof. I'm the proof, man. Just dude, the taprooting concept, man. I'm it's got I'm jonesed about it, man. I'm just so excited.
Yeah. So don't be afraid to reach down. Don't be
Oh,
afraid to drill down. Don't be afraid to tap into other people. Don't be afraid to ask. It's just like asking a lead if they're ready to get started. Like, don't be afraid to ask the question because, as Gretzky would say, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So if you don't reach out and try to drill down and try to tap into people and try to expand, then the answer is always going to be no. And, again, you could be a phenomenal affiliate marketer, but until you learn the skill of creating depth in your organization, it's going to be very hard to create that sustainable passive residual income. You
by the
know,
way, you mentioned it at the beginning of this call, and I'm going to mention it now. Law of averages. There is
yeah.
no way to lose if you keep swinging the bat. If you are at that plate and
Hmm.
taking pitches and actually having the conversations and actually inviting and actually drilling down and talking to people, you can't lose. There's no way you're not ever going. I don't think there's a baseball player in history from little league to professional who has stood at the plate and never hit a ball. Eventually, you hit that ball. And what happens is the next pitch you might catch a little sooner. The next
Hmm.
one you get a little bit better, and the averages start increasing based on percentages of swings.
Yep.
And you have got to pay attention to that. It's what made all of us the people we are. It's like you didn't get to walking from just crawling. You had to start taking some steps. And as you took some steps, you got more confident and you got your timing right and you got your balance right. And it's how it applies to everything in the world. The law of averages exists. And
Hmm.
the more you play, the more you win.
True story. Yeah. And obviously, to Curry's point there, it's like the more you swing the bat, the better you're going to get at it. You're not going to swing the bat 1,000 times and be as bad on your thousandth swing as you were on your first. You know, it's just it's not possible. But
And that's the way I look at all opportunities now that I feel uncomfortable in because it's a new concept or it's a new thing. I know in my own head, I have to set, I'm going to talk to 1,000 people first before I'm even thinking about winning. I've got to practice through enough conversations so that I get my words right and I get my invitation down correctly and I get my confidence built up. And I just set myself a goal. I'm going to talk to 1,000 people. And I'm telling you, 1,000 people isn't even that many.
yep.
That's not very many people. Like it's so wild that people go, well, I can't write a list of 100. You got 100 Facebook friends. Right there's your first list. Go
Yep.
talk to all of them.
Hmm.
Well, some of them are friends and some of them are coworkers and some of them are church members and some they're human beings, right? They got breath. They take a breath in and take a breath out, right? They like talk to them. Don't
Yep.
how we've we have also lost the concept of practice.
Mm.
Dude, I remember one of my mentors makes his team make a list of 200 people to practice with. And he tells them, you're not trying to sell them anything. You're trying to practice. Okay, I'm going to tell the story. I'm sorry. Kirby vacuum cleaner. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
When I was 18 years old, I was struggling to find a job in my small town. I was struggling. And I went to a Kirby vacuum cleaner sales presentation on a Saturday. And I sat there the whole day and I thought, this is exciting. They got prizes and they got competitions and they
Hmm.
got all kinds of trips. They hype up this vacuum cleaning sales business. And then you got to go sell a $1,800 vacuum cleaner, whatever. But the very first thing that they give you at the end of the day is you need to get a list of friends and family you can practice with.
Yep.
Guys, if I had done that, who knows where my career would be today? But I went to my own dad and he told me, no, I will not let you practice with me.
Yep.
And I quit. I quit. Dude, I look back, there has never been anything in my life that I have regretted more than quitting that thing to this day. Like I
Yeah.
just know if I had fought through those no's and learned to do that, I would have been one of the greatest salespeople in the history of mankind. And it just, I didn't. He told me no, and I thought if my own dad won't do this, dude, my best friend almost ruined my network marketing business because I thought if I can't get my best friend to do this, how am I going to get anyone else?
Yeah.
Dude, those moments changed my whole life.
And well, that's that's where the personal development aspect, like you cannot underestimate the importance and the power of investing into yourself and your brain and your attitude and your mindset. That comes before anything. Like that should be like I it would be funny to actually make it like a prerequisite to say in your first 30 days, you're not going to touch marketing. Like in your first 30, like as an example, in your first 30 days, like you're going to go, I'm just using examples. You're going to read these three books: The Compound Effect, Start with Why, and The Four Agreements. You're going to read these three books in your first 30 days. You're going to not touch marketing. And then at the end of 30 days, then we're going to start moving you forward. It would be really like, imagine if,
Amway did that.
yeah,
Amway forced their distributors at the beginning to read The Magic of Thinking Big.
I remember that. I remember that. Yep.
And we all go, Amway, it don't work. Amway's still one of the largest network marketing companies in the world, over 10 billion in sales every year.
Uh huh.
They got a stadium in Florida. They got sports teams. They don't work. That's a scam. That's a
Yeah.
scam.
Yep.
They forced their distributors to read The Magic of Thinking Big from day one, and
Yeah.
you weren't allowed to move forward until you finished that book.
Yep.
By the
But
way, everyone should read that book.
oh yeah,
Everyone should read that book.
I have the audio. I don't have the
I
physical,
have
but
the audio.
yes.
I don't have a lot of books now. I have a lot of audios.
But it's when we're talking about whether it be taprooting or messaging or income producing activities, whatever it is, you it's easy to fall if you don't have the developmental skill set of just wanting to move forward and learn and develop and grow. Somebody commented to me the other day, we're talking about direct messaging, and they commented to me and said, well, I don't have anybody to talk to. And I said, daggone it, you're right. You are absolutely correct. You don't. Because that's what you believe.
That's right. It's so
If
hilarious.
you're right, you are so right. Throw in the towel, stop now, give it all
I'd
up. This
quit,
won't work for you.
I'd quit. Go ahead.
Yeah. Or wait for it. Hang on. Last time I looked, there were about 450 million people here in the United States. There was over 4 billion people in the globe. So is it that you don't have anybody to talk to or you don't want to talk to anybody? Or is it that you're not willing and don't want to learn the skill sets to go talk to people? Because here, let me show you how to do it. Go over to, this person's page and you go to this thing, you go look at a recent post and you go start engaging with the people that are active and current and you start building your friends list. You start gaining people to talk to. Do you want to learn how to do the thing or do you want to accept the fact that you don't want to learn it? Because everything, in my opinion, circles back to Jim Rohn's quote of if you really want to do something, you'll find a way. If you don't, you'll create an excuse.
Every time,
So,
100%.
do you want to be right? And do you want to validate yourself so you could be like, ha, I was right. That stuff doesn't work. Or would you rather go get the result?
My friend Kelly has taught me a phrase that says, you either can be right or you can be rich. And I have adapted that. And it's like, I don't want to be right. I don't. Listen, I live with the awareness that I know all that I know. And I'm open to knowing more. And
Yep.
what I love about what I've become in life, that I'm just talking about myself, I'm aware that what I know might be wrong. And I'm so open to expressing confidence in my wrongness in the hopes that somebody corrects me and gives me more information to move forward with. Like, I don't care to be wrong. I love growing as a person. And
Mm-hmm.
if something that I have learned so
Like why
far
they
that
call
I'm
it fail
carrying,
forward.
yeah, dude, I want to fail faster than everybody. And I will mess it up. And if somebody tells me, that, hey, Curry, you're wrong, and here's why. Thank you. Thank
Yep.
you so much for telling me. I'd love that I get to gain more knowledge.
Yep.
There's so many people that love maintaining all that they know to be right in their own mind, and you aren't right.
Mm-hmm.
You're just stupid at the moment. I'm sorry, I just called
But you know what
you.
though? Like as soon as you started pontificating there, I immediately went back to the very first episode where you were talking about, you know, why everybody wants to be right is because we are taught from a very early age that it's bad to be wrong. It's
Right,
bad to fail. Like growing up, parenting, school, like the whole education system, like we're always taught that you do not want to fail. So we have this fear and phobia that failing is bad. And it's like you get out into the world of home based business and marketing, and it's like, bring on the failure, mother father. Like, let's go.
dude.
Like,
It's so
you,
great.
you,
It's
you
so
gotta you
great.
gotta realize like how like failing, sucking at stuff will teach you so much. Like I mean, I've said to people, I don't know how many times over the years, like, please, when you're getting started, when you're first putting out content, please go F stuff up. Go
Yeah,
mess up. Like, go screw something up. Go out there and message content, whatever. Go get somebody to yell at you. Like, go mess up so bad that somebody yells at you because you're gonna learn some stuff in there and you're gonna be like, okay, cool. Well, I just learned what not to do. Cool. I just learned something. Now I'm gonna go try and do it again and not get yelled at or whatever it is. But like, get out there and go mess up. Like, go screw some stuff up, will you?
it is, dude. That's the best. It's the greatest. It's the greatest teacher there is.
Yep.
Failure is the single greatest teacher you'll ever have, and there ain't no way around it. There's no way that you can get started and be the best from the beginning. There's nobody. There's nobody that
You
has come
can't build
into.
perfectly.
You can't. You've got to
Cannot be
practice.
done.
You've got to screw up. And I'm gonna tell. I'm this is my favorite fun moment of my journey at this moment. I'm messing with a feral cat. I have a feral cat outside, it scratched the crap out of me the other day because I'm getting too close to it. And I know that I've got to mess up a few more times to just develop a relationship with this dumb cat. And I told Christy, I'm like, I'm going to end up in the hospital trying to tame this feral cat. But I'm like, the only way to get better is to spend time with the thing. And it's like, well, I got it in my head that I'm going to be bleeding for a little bit. I'm going to be bleeding. But
Hmm.
I don't know any different now that like you have to mess up enough to be good at something. You don't not even to be great, just
Yep.
to be good at it.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. Man.
the good talk, man. This is a good talk.
Uh,
So far,
um,
they've all been good talks. I can't believe that this is only five, and we've given away endless gold,
yeah. How
endless.
many nuggets? How
Could
many
you
juicy nugs?
imagine if you got started and had a podcast like this to have listened to and used to gain, how much faster would you have moved a little bit forward? I didn't have anything like this.
Dude, if I had this when I was starting out, like I would be eagerly like waiting for the next one to drop, like soaking this up like a friggin' sponge. If that were me. But
Right. And we're not saying that out loud to like cause other people for real. For us, we just we had to figure it out because there wasn't 10 years ago at the beginning of this that not everybody was building online yet and they weren't
yeah,
doing all the stuff that we're this is crazy that we're giving away all this gained knowledge from years of development.
for sure. For
By the
sure.
way, what is the number one audio that you tell your people they have to listen to? Do you have one?
It would I mean I reference The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale a lot, but I think more than that, I think I reference The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy.
Nice. I
And
like
you
this
can go
too.
scoop it up for free on YouTube. You don't even have to pay for it. But the compound effect for me, it's one of if I were to look back like at some of my top stuff over here, um, I would I would lean towards the compound effect probably more than anything because it teaches you building anything in your life over time. And how things compound and add up over time. It's no, there isn't a book over here that says get rich quick. There isn't a book over here that says you will be a millionaire overnight. All of these things require patience,
I
but I
thought we
think the
were changing the
compound
name
effect
of
is the
the
one I lean.
podcast to How to Get Rich Quick with Network Marketing. I thought that's what we were changing it to.
Oh yeah, yeah, we can change the name. Two dudes talking about how to get rich fast. Um, that's probably the book or the audio that I go to the most, at least with my team. Because again, I want them to feel how much that book influenced me, but I also want them to realize that there's so much gold in that book or audio book that maybe just maybe if like one person could listen to it and be like, I get it now, like then I'll feel good, you know?
I struggle not to in every team. I have a welcome to the team message that I give, and it has steps in it. And in that, the very first thing I ask people to listen to is Jim Rohn's How to Build Your Network Marketing Business.
Yeah.
I find that audio gives you the exact blueprint for understanding sowing seeds, the law of averages, finding ambitious people,
Mm-hmm.
uh, recognizing ambition. I think that audio um, is the most clarifying audio for a person. And I didn't listen to it till I was probably in my fifth year of building.
Yep.
And that thing, I love looking at my notebook from the very first event I ever went to, and I took notes, and I've always taken notes at every event. And they gave me on day one a list of three books to read, and the first book in that list was Your First Year in Network Marketing by Mark Yarnell. and I didn't read it until year nine, like 9 years into this, and I missed that book. And I would say that that book is probably one of the greatest written books in this industry ever.
Yep.
But
Speaking, you mentioned notebooks too, and one of the things that I try to reiterate to my peeps all the time, and just anybody that will listen, is, and this comes from Jim Rohn, is learn to think on paper. Learn to think on paper. And this is one of my notebooks here, and I know it's going to be tough to see, but literally it's filled with notes. This is the one before this one right here, and this one I'm literally halfway through right now. Another one that's completely full, and I never go anywhere or do anything
I'm
without
with you.
this being
I
by my
am.
side. Yeah,
It's the
so
most
that way it's
valuable
like,
thing I have. It's the most valuable thing I own right here.
yeah, anytime you get an idea, a thought, a whatever, you write it down. you know, a person you want to reach out to, an idea you have for a piece of content, whatever it is that you hear a golden nugget. You're watching this podcast and you're like, "Oh, damn, that's good." You write it down. You don't just, like, if you try to think about it and try to remember it later in the day, you can be like, "Oh, what was that thing that I saw, that I heard, that it, whatever." It's like, no, you think on paper. You are 10 times more likely to remember something if you write it down. And you are even more likely to actually go get it done and do the thing that you wrote down. But anyway, tangent, the
Dude,
importance
we
of
we
taking
we
notes.
went off. We were just talking. What is the
Oh my
two dudes
gosh, yeah.
talking, man?
What were we originally talking about? Oh yeah, pyramid scheme.
Pyramid schemes.
Pyramid scheme, is this a thing?
Oh God, it's such a pyramid scheme.
Anyway.
I like the meme that there's somebody's like, yes, it's a pyramid scheme, and I'm the pharaoh.
Yeah, I know.
Oh man,
Yeah. Anyway,
dude, next week's gonna be great too.
I'm looking at the notes for next week. We have daily activities, telling your story, knowing your why, uh, IPAs, which is income producing activities, which is also daily activities. So we can combo
Yeah,
that.
that'd be a long conversation anyway about creating daily activity tracking and doing a sheet for your team and putting that together. It'd be all right.
Yeah, we could even maybe we'll build out a while we're doing this live next week, maybe we'll build out a generic starting point that people could take and run with. I have
You
I
want to
have
put
about a million of those documents online. I'm sure we could tap into
yeah,
those or yours or combo or whatever. We'll figure something out. Either
the,
way,
you
my
mean to tell me
gosh.
we could put a downloadable link to like an Excel spreadsheet or a Google sheet in our Zoom
Yeah.
or not Zoom, but our YouTube?
Yeah, we could put like a Google Drive link down below that has
You, you
you know,
mean we would be giving extra value in this?
yeah. On
Ridiculous.
top of knowledge, we could actually give away stuff that people could use.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, it's crazy. Crazy talk right here.
Two
Uh
dudes talking daily activity tracker. That's hilarious.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, by the way, if you made it to this point in the video and you haven't, whatever crazy reason, if you're still here, smash that subscribe button, hit that bell icon, so you do get notified whenever we put out a short. Or I mean, who knows? We might even go live one day on this channel, and you'll be notified immediately. That's how the little bell icon thing works. But either way, my friends, for Curry, Daniel here. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us here. Two Dudes Talking, episode 5. Stay tuned next week when we drop 6 and we talk about more awesome stuff. Appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so
I guess.
much. And we'll see you next week. Take care.